This content is not designed to persuade you of a different opinion. It's designed to make you angry. It's about emphasizing the divisions that already exist in this country. We've become weaponized, essentially. We're the vehicles for this kind of content. The hope is they get us all to immediately reshare on Facebook. We're not going to share something that doesn't make us feel something. Disinformation is false information. The person creating it knows it's false and it's deliberately designed to cause harm.
In a 2019 Pew study, 55% of U.S. adults got some of their news from social media, up 8% from the year before.
The kinds of disinformation that we're seeing in this moment is definitely more top-down. The notion that the election is rigged, how is it that that idea took up so much oxygen in our media ecosystem?
They have millions of unsolicited ballots being sent all over, and it's no good.
This made civil society groups have to augment their Get Out the Vote campaigns to get very simple information to voters so that they know exactly where their vote is going to go and how it's going to be counted. The second piece is more of these bottom-up campaigns, which is laden with conspiracy. We started to see medical misinformation causing people to go out in public and potentially endanger themselves by having these reopen rallies. We also saw a fair amount of misinformation about the George Floyd protests. And then more recently, the wildfires in California, we saw rumors about who was behind those fires. And that actually led to law enforcement having to issue statements saying, don't call us with these rumors. So that's all to say that the top-down and the bottom-up disinformation does, in a way, meet in the middle in the sense that it does circulate really well across social media.
In the case of disinformation, both the medium and the message have proven hard to contain. Between 2005 and 2019, social media use among adults in America has grown from 5% to 79%.
I think one of the ethoses of social media when it was originally being conceptualized was that it would be a place where people could have lively discussion. It wasn't built for news. It wasn't built for science. It wasn't built for knowledge. And yet we find ourselves in the middle of a pandemic where one of our most valuable and key communication infrastructures is social media.
The platforms have wanted to be like the telephone operating companies, like, whoa, we don't know what you guys are saying. We're just the pipes. And I think over the last few years, there's been a recognition that they can't take that hands-off approach.
You know, the folks who built the first airplane didn't think, oh, I should build an airport. They didn't think, oh, I need air traffic control, right? And if we're at the beginning of a kind of new industry here, how do we use that model to land the plane here?
Misinformation is also false or misleading information, but the people sharing it don't realize it's false and absolutely don't mean any harm. What we have to remember is we've always had rumors, and that's essentially what's happening now, but it's on steroids because social media means it doesn't just stay in your little village or town. We also have to remember that what people share it's linked to their identity. So if I share something and you tell me that it's false, I'm not gonna be like, oh, thanks. This is much more complex than that.
I think it's so important that social media companies understand what they've built and don't allow it to be turned against society at a moment when people are scared, they're isolated, and they are craving a way out of this moment.
Because so many people are going to be voting early or it's vote by mail, it's very easy to push misinformation because people aren't sure. And when people are confused, it's easy to be like, oh, well, I saw a post on Instagram and it suggested that there were some ballot boxes and the ballots were just being ripped up.
You should be confident that your vote counts. Early, unverified claims to the contrary should be viewed with a healthy dose of skepticism.
I'm very cognizant of the fact that someone declares a winner too early and then we have to fight against the rising tide of people believing that one candidate won when we haven't had all of the ballots counted.
So I would just say to everybody, be really wary about people posting particularly imagery about the process of voting, because people are taking advantage of people not knowing, and they're trying to push this idea that vote by mail isn't safe. So be aware of that. Be aware of things like, if everybody's like, oh my God, the lines are so long. Well, if everybody's standing 6 feet apart, that's more likely to be the case. The biggest piece of advice I say to people is, yes, be critical. Yes, Google the headline. Yes, do all of those things. But the number one thing we should do is recognize when this kind of content makes us feel something, because we're not going to share something that doesn't make us feel something.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.